Hey folks, this is Matt once again. This is once again thanks to Till from Germany, who sent me a bunch of films, including this film. This is called Junior Pilot, but is also known as Final Approach from around 2005. And just take a look at the back cover. Now, the front cover, if you didn't recognize, you have a couple of familiar faces in this. For instance, you have Mark Dacascos, you have Eric Roberts, David Rashi from Sledgehammer, I believe the TV show. You have Tim Thomerson. You have Larry Miller. If you look up Larry Miller, he's been in quite a few stuff. Now, Junior Pilot, again, also known as Final Approach, this was directed by a guy named James Beckett, which this guy has made a lot of shitty movies. Ulterior Motives, Plato's Run with Gary Busey. That's one where Jeff Speakman's in it for a little bit and then dies at the end. Yep. Uh, CBS School-Based Special. Directing a documentary called Sons of Africa. Mainly, this is a kid's film. This is a kid's film, and you know what? I'm sure this is made for families. This is made for kids. This is not made for me. I mean, I guess I'll go alright with my Mark Dacascos collection, but I definitely think the last one I reviewed that Till sent me, Sabotage, is much better than this. Because Sabotage, even though it's not a great film, it's not. It still makes that film is Rambo First Blood Part 2 compared to this. It's a kid's film. I mean, you look at it. It's about this kid played by this actor Jordan Garrett, who I don't know how old the kid is. I think he was one of the kids in Death Sentence. He would go on to do that. Jordan Garrett, again, he's this little kid who daydreams a lot. He daydreams a lot in class. Larry Miller is the dad, and this kid is playing this flight simulator game. And at his school, the arts and music and stuff are being canceled. Eric Roberts is in this film, but Eric Roberts doesn't do much. I guess he's a coach. He's pretty much at the beginning of the film telling the kids that, granted, a lot of this stuff's going on, but we got a couple of tickets. And because this kid who daydreams in this fucking blur vision, because literally most of the fucking screen is blurry in this daydream, he daydreams that he's a conductor, and he's like, this kid is not daydreaming, he's psychotic. He doesn't just daydream. Like, when you daydream, I think of, Lisa Wilcox in Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Like, you daydream, you're just standing there and you're thinking about it. This kid's not only thinking about it, he's actually doing it. So he's daydreaming, he's doing this. That's not daydreaming, that's psychotic. That's psychosis. You're actually doing stuff. Like, you're actually in another world. You're not just daydreaming, you're actually in another world. It's like sleepwalking without the sleeping part. Isn't that kind of psychosis? Like, you psycho, kid, fuck. You psycho, kid. I mean, that's not daydreaming anymore. That's psychosis. Reality losing. What's that fucking comic strip with the kid and his fucking tiger or leopard or something? I forget what the hell it is. Like, that kid was psychotic. God, I forget what the hell that theme was now. Damn it. I know someone's gonna write it down. It's like a comic strip with a kid, and he really has a stuffed toy, but it's an animal. It's like a leopard or a tiger. I can't remember what the hell it is. Cheetah or something. I can't remember. Can't believe I forgot. But like, he's actually doing this, and then he makes Eric Roberts look bad because Eric Roberts is such an idiot. He spells Smithsonian wrong. And Eric Roberts does a dick move where he changes, to the spell right. Then he takes the kid's name off it, so now the kid can't go on the trip. It's like a trip to a concert or something. And like, wow, Eric Roberts is a dick move. I mean, he's in the film at the beginning. Then when he gets on the plane, he says like one or two words, and then he's asleep for the entire film until the ending. And when I mean ending, I mean like the last couple minutes. So literally, there's a, I can't say he sleepwalked through it, but he slept through it. There's a role he literally slept through. Eric Roberts, what the fuck are you doing? I remember the first time I heard of this film, it wasn't. It was actually before Till sent this to me. I saw the cover to this film, and I thought it was like I thought it was just a direct-to-DVD sort of action film. Because if I can move this without doing anything, if you look at this cover, Final Approach, which you can't see well because it's a little bit blurry, it looks like a sequel to Turbulence, like Turbulence 4 or something. Like one of those kind of things where, okay, a terrorist took, a bad guy took over a plane and blah, 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 blah. And no, it's a kid's film. But yeah, Eric Roberts pretty much slept through the entire film, other than the little stuff in the beginning. It's a 4.8 out of 10 IMDb's, way too fucking high. I mean, it's a kid's film, but this film was painful to sit through. It was one of those kids films that would be on like the Disney Channel. It really is. This is like a Disney Channel type of flick. It really is, and that's not kids films. I watch Wall-E. I watch Finding Nemo. I watch Aladdin. I watch those kind of kids films, or Ernest P. Worrell films for kids films, but not this. Not this fucking bullshit. And like you have goofy shit like when the kids are going through the elevator, an FBI guy just takes this little kid, tips him upside down and shakes him, so shakes all the kid's money out. I'm like, wow, FBI guys do that? Wow, okay. And the kid constantly keeps daydreaming. Like he daydreams he's a military guy, and he says that Mark Dacascos, who's kind of has a shaved head look in this film, who has a gun. And so the kid's like, oh, he has a gun, and his buddy is like, oh, you always daydream, you don't get us in trouble. Tim Thomerson is in this film as a pilot, but literally, I don't know why Tim Thomerson. I'm like, dude, Trancers, Uncommon Valor, Air America, even. I mean, hey, he probably took it because, hey, it's an easy paycheck. He only has, you count on one hand how many lines he has, and it's pretty much to the point where later on in the film he gets knocked out and the door is closed, and of course, guess it, the kid was playing the flight simulation at the beginning, so the kid has to go not under the plane, but like under the thing, sneaking in so he can land the plane. Like we've seen, how many films have we seen where someone who, oh my god, they're landing the plane, they land the plane, from Executive Decision to how many airport films and Airplane, Airplane 2, and I just, very sort of get tired of Turbulence, but all those are better than this film, to be honest. Like anytime, like this kid daydreams a lot. Like he watches on TV that a girl's been kidnapped, so he daydreams that he punches this fat kid with his over-the-top swirling mustache and saves this girl. Then there's a time where he keeps thinking, oh yeah, Mark Dacascos has a gun, so he daydreams in black and white, and he grabs Mark Dacascos' gun. And it's like, oh, what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to put hot sauce in his food. Ooh, he's going to put hot sauce in his food. We can't tell anybody because they won't believe me. Because, no, we can't just go get our parent, get my dad and go up to him and he has a gun because he'll shoot us. Or something. I mean, it's like, I don't care if you're daydreaming or not. This was 2005. I mean, this is after 9/11. If I don't care who the fuck the kid is, if someone says, "Hey, that person I think has a gun," they don't check on it. 50 people don't check on it to be extra sure. Plus, I would think that the pilot talked to my dad. They talked to the pilot. Wouldn't the pilot know that an air marshal was on board with a pistol? I mean, doesn't there, because you find out that's what you find out. Mark Dacascos at the end is an air marshal. He's not the bad guy, but most of the film is the kid thinking he's the bad guy. And what should we do about him? So it's really most of the film is for nothing because the kid is fucking wrong and an idiot. But like, wouldn't the pilot know he's an air marshal? I know. Here I am trying to rationalize a fucking kids movie called Junior Pilot, where a fucking little kid lands a goddamn plane at the end. I'm trying to rationalize it. That's just stupid. But you know, it's so funny. The kid, hot sauce, and Mark Dacascos eats it. And Mark Dacascos, why can't someone give this guy good roles? He has to resort to doing this shit. I mean, it's an easy paycheck. He doesn't have much dialogue. If you're wondering, no, he does not have a single fight scene. He does a martial arts move because there's a daydream where Mark Dacascos has a fucking mop and is twirling a mop, and the kid kicks his ass. This kid. And I'm like, just kicks him once, and he flies back, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like Stallone in Spy Kids 3D. Well, that's worse, but still, this is embarrassing. Martha Costos, come on, do this guy a fucking worthy fucking movie. Please. And the kid also daydreams he's a fucking doctor, and you have this bully on the plane who's a fucking fat kid. The kids go to his baggage, and the girl, there's now the kid, his buddy, this girl, and this fat kid who was the bully, but now is hanging out with them. The girl sees his dog and opens up the door because she feels sorry for it. The dog steers the bully. They see someone open up in the baggage, and they pull a stolen mask, which was part of the thing that the girl was kidnapped. They also stole this mask. Then you find, one thing leads to another, you find out that these two doctors who are on the plane who somehow snuck under the cover this kidnapped woman. These two doctors are out there plain as day, doctors, and they snuck a woman on the plane right there front and center underneath a sheet. That's actually the kidnapped woman and who's on all the news. But yet, just yeah, because no one would think, hey, let me look under the cover, or let me make sure, or wait, this and this and that, and let me see some credentials. And fucking, here I am rationalizing a fucking kids movie. I know. That's when Thomerson gets knocked out by like turbulence. The two doctors, one of them pulls out a gun, the other pulls out a needle. Uh, Pretty much the girl with the gun falls down. Our lead kid is on top of her, and the fat kid lands on her. The fat bully kid. Larry Miller, the lead kid's dad, gets the needle and then accidentally hits the co-pilot, so she's knocked out. That's where you find out Martha Costas is a federal air marshal, but the door to the pilot, the actual, where Tim Towers is knocked out, is locked. There's F-16s outside. He's like, what's going on? This plane's going to hit this some. Oh shit, we're going to... This is a scene that I don't know what the fuck happens. There's this F-16, and then there's this countdown. Then the kid goes under, the lead kid, and gets through and pretty much just pushes his vent, and where Tim Towers' body is at, Tim Towers' body falls. And then for some reason, there's like 5 seconds left, and the military guy, mainly the guy from Sledgehammer, David Rashi, that guy there, says, call it off, call it off. I'm like, why? What made you call it off? They didn't see the kid yet. They see him later. Because it's later where they go, wait, the plane didn't crash? Because the kid gets up and lifts the controls. I guess he just says no just for the fuck of it. So the kid gets the plane, and it's all the landing the plane stuff. And Eric Roberts has been asleep for all this time. They land the plane. Everyone's happy. The guy whose daughter is saved from being kidnapped has a fucking line like, yeah, this mask, this is one treasure. But the greatest treasure is my daughter. knows your daughter's virginity. But and then the kid like gets a reward, and this like seriously, this is not a real. This is no kid would say this. He gets this reward. He goes, "I don't put it to the school so we can keep our teachers teaching and us kids keep making music." I'm like, man, glad you didn't give the money to me. I say, fuck the school. I'm going to Disneyland, bitch. I'm going to Disney World and Universal Studios, and I'm taking a break. Because I'm rich, bitch. But no, this kid is like, we gotta keep our teachers teaching, and us kids keep making music. And then the movie ends, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Final Approach, aka Junior Pilot. I mean, it's a kid's film. And it's a shitty one. Mark Dacascos, why are you in there? Eric Roberts, he's asleep for most of the time. Tim Thomerson, 5 minutes at most, he's in it. Uh, the kids I did not care about at all. The Ricky kid, Jordan Garrett, the lead kid, I was annoyed by him. I was annoyed. I was irritated. His fucking daydreams sucked ass. This kid has the worst daydreams. I mean, I thought this was an action film. Well, not from this cover. I knew it wasn't. But when I first heard about it way back when it was called Final Approach, I thought it was an action film. Oh, Eric Roberts, and maybe he's facing off against Mark Dacascos or something like that. And nope, not at all. It's Junior Pilots. I don't know what the fuck more I can say. He's fucking Junior Pilot. Take a fucking plane, shove it up the kid's ass.